Myself, Siddharth. Here I'm holding approximately 13 years of experience, entire IT, especially on MuleSoft. I'm holding 8 plus years of experience. I'm a MuleSoft architect. I had been doing the MuleSoft architecture for the past 3 years, 13 plus years of experience. I'm also an architect. I'm working for one of the top-notch company in the world. Here, I'm not only the MuleSoft developer I'm not also working for the full time. I'm also working for a part time as well. So normally I will grab the project from the freelancer sites. I will start working on those projects and I'm handing over the some of the responsibilities to my students where they want hands-on experience over there. And also I will earn some money on top of it. Okay. For example, I'm working for the Upwork over there. Approximately, let me show you how many years onwards I'm working on as a freelancer over there. So even you people, once you are familiarized with the MuleSoft, okay, then also you can grab the project from the Upwork and you can bid it. Once you grab the project, you can start working on it. There are the two opportunities which you have. One is a permanent role and second one is a part-time role. Whenever you are free, whenever you have the time, you can log in or you can bid the project and you can grab the project, then you can start working on it. Okay, so I will show you some after some other time about this Upwork. Maybe it is taking some more time. Okay, so this is all very high level about meeting. Okay, so can I get the introduction from you as well so that I can drive the session as smooth as possible? So what I'm expecting from all of you is, are you from the technology background or non-technology background? How many years of experience? Okay, what is your current role? These are the three things which I'm expecting from all of you. Anyone, will you like to go ahead?
Hi, this is Dilip.
Yeah.
I got 9 years of IT experience working as a BW developer.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Chandra. So yeah, so I'm working as a Hadoop admin. So I have overall 8 years of IT experience. Currently, I'm working in eBay PayPal. PayPal.
EDI, right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Kanchan, and I'm from non-technology background, and
Okay.
I have 13 years of experience in the non-technology field.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, hi all. I'm Meena. I have experience of 9 years, and I'm a TIPCO BW developer.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Meena. So can I assume everyone from the technology background? Anyone, if it is not from the technology background, can you raise your voice?
See, I'm not from the technology background. I'm a non-technology background.
Okay. Seems to be only one. Kanchana. Anyone else? Okay. Let's start our session. Okay. So what is a MuleSoft? MuleSoft is nothing but just an integration platform. So you can ask me a question. What is an integration platform again? 1 minute. How to minimize? Okay. So what is an integration platform? Integration means nowadays you have so many technologies, so many tools, and each and every tool captures some amount of data from the customer or a user. Okay, so for example, a Salesforce, right? It will capture the sales information. Okay, and SAP, it has the multiple modules. Some of the modules it will capture the financial information. Okay, and some other tools is Workday, payroll information, it will capture all the payroll related data. Okay, and some other tools which contains the rules or some other like web application database. Each and every tool has its own way of storing the data, right? So if you want to get the data from the multiple systems, okay, it is very tedious job to capture the data from the multiple systems, right? So then in the olden days, how this is achieved? By using the standalone programming languages such as Java, .NET or Python or some other languages, they use it to interact with all the third-party systems like Salesforce, SAP, and they capture the data. Okay. In olden days, until last 2 to 3 years or maybe 5 years before, very handful amount of tools are there. Okay. Nowadays, there are many more tools. If you want to use a standalone programming language, it will take a lot of time to complete the integration between all these tools. Okay, so to avoid that, ESB technology is introduced. By using the ESB technology, you can interact any sort of system in the world very easily, and you can grab the data and you can present to somebody else, or you can send it to some other system. Okay, so what we have discussed so far, what is the integration platform, what is an ESB, and ESB belongs to the MuleSoft. The MuleSoft is not only the ESB, I'm saying in the ESB platform, MuleSoft is not only the part. There are multiple, so many other competitors also there. Okay, some of them are Oracle Service Bus, TIBCO, WebSphere, JBoss Fuse, okay, and Workido. This not Workido, some other tools. Okay, so why we want to use the MuleSoft? Why can't we go with other technologies? Very few reasons. Okay, very most important is community support. So community means it should be has so many developers. Whenever you have a problem, the solution you have to get without reaching to the main company. That is the first reason. Okay, and the second one is community edition and enterprise edition. It should support the free and enterprise licensed one. MuleSoft has the free version and enterprise also. Okay, so that if you don't have the confidence, you can go with the community, and once you are comfortable, then you can go with enterprise. Okay, and some of the small scale organizations, they started using the community. Nowadays they moved everyone into the enterprise edition. Okay, so now let me tell you one thing. So how much, why we want to go with the MuleSoft instead of core technologies? In recent times, company or users or the market dynamics is changing very frequently, and mood also changing very frequently, right? So if you go with the standalone programming languages, it will take a lot of time. For example, if a project is going to take 10 years of time, by the time customer experience, customer mood or customer usage, everything be changed. Okay, if you use MuleSoft or any other ESB technology, okay, you can complete the 10 years of project within the 1 to 2 years of timeline. Okay, team. So I hope you understand what is the advantages with the MuleSoft compared to the standalone programming languages. Okay, what this MuleSoft will do by integrating with the multiple systems. Okay, and who are all the competitors for the MuleSoft? Anyone has any questions, team, so far?
Yeah, so currently I'm working on BW Classic and BW Container version.
Okay.
So what is the extra benefits if I choose for MuleSoft? Because the market is very large compared to typical BW. Everyone is started using MuleSoft, or it will be lightweight, or it's very comfortable in cloud environment. What is the reason behind that? People are very, a lot of clients are eagerly start working on the MuleSoft.
Right. The very first one is license wise, very cheap. Second one is you can customize your components accordingly based on your requirement. It has a program. Okay, and it has the backbone by the Salesforce. Okay, these are the three main reasons. The very most important reason is the companies why it is moving is it's a customizable. If you want to change or if you want to get some future from the TIBCO, what will you do normally? Are you going to reach out to the TIBCO support team,
Correct.
or are you going to build by your own self?
No, you will reach out the TIBCO team.
That is a big disadvantage, right? You don't know when they are going to come back, right?
Correct.
So here you can build your own customized solutions for yourself. You don't need to depend on anybody else. And apart from that, each and every feature, whatever the other competitors has, the MuleSoft also has. Cloud and your container level and integration level, service level, and programmatic wise, each and every feature you have. For example, you have some other existing projects are developed in the .NET. How will you use those .NET projects in your TIBCO? It's difficult.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, means you will integrate through web service.
Right.
Yeah, that is, I know. Yeah, web service. That's it.
If you do not have the web service, it's a standalone project, then what will you do now? Do you have the integration with the .NET framework? As I know, it doesn't have. But MuleSoft has the integration with various tools and technologies as well, like Java, .NET, Python, Ruby, each and every framework you can implement in your MuleSoft. Okay. So anyone else, any other questions, team? Before I'm going ahead to the next slide.
See, I have one question. See the MuleSoft, right? You are saying that this is one of the integration one, correct? So,
Right.
so right in the market we have, we have a number of integration tools. Okay, right. So,
Right.
right. So, yeah. So, right, and maybe why only I learned, right, this MuleSoft compared to those. Only for this is the one. Maybe it supports the more applications like compared to other integration tools which we have in the market, like
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. The very first and important reason is it can support any sort of third-party system. It has approximately 500 connectors are readily available, which you can use to integrate any sort of system in the world easily, pretty much easily. Okay, and also some of the, and for example, if you go with the some other tools, you need to pay as you go, right? But in the MuleSoft, you don't need like that. Just pay once and use any number of times. I would say all the connectors. Some tools, what they will do, if you use the Salesforce, pay for the Salesforce. Okay, if you go for the SAP, and again you need to pay for the SAP integration, SAP connectors. Okay, is that fine?
So
yeah.
how easily we can find those plugins or adapters? Means any technology. Like we are always dependent on the TIBCO. If you want to SAP adapter or any plugins, MQ plugins, what are the plugins? Yeah, definitely. I think the client are purchasing those from TIBCO.
Right.
But how easily we
Right.
can get from MuleSoft? And can you just
MuleSoft has a
explain me?
marketplace.
Mhm.
MuleSoft has a marketplace where you can easily download. You don't need to depend on. You can get the sample examples also in the particular connection.
Okay.
Okay, I will show you out.
Mhm.
Okay, at the end of the session, how to use those number of, I'm saying at least 1 to 2. Okay, I'm going to my second slide. Already I had discussed use points, right? So if you're using the standalone programming languages, team, can you please be on mute? Okay, If you use a standalone programming languages by using the Java, .NET, Spring Framework, or Hibernate, okay, the main disadvantage with that is you need to build all these modules separately. You don't have pre-built modules. You have to write the code by yourself, okay, or you need to copy from the existing projects. So authentication framework itself, authentication means username and password validation and OAuth and exception handling, caching mechanism, each and everything you have to implement in the standalone programming languages. In the MuleSoft, just a drag and drop. Just drag and drop, give your configuration, that's it, and you are done. For example, if you're going to implement the authentication framework for your project in Java, .NET, or any other tools, it will take 6 months time or maybe 3 to 6 months time in the production mode. But in the MuleSoft, just matter of hours or maybe matter of days. That's it. Okay. And my second part, so what kind of data it can be exchanged between the source and target system? Source is nothing but where you're going to take the data, and target is where you're going to give the data. So MuleSoft won't hold data at all. Just as a mediator. Just it will take from the one location and it will give to the other location. Okay, that's the only job MuleSoft will do. Okay, so MuleSoft can understand any sort of data in the world, especially XML, JSON, EDIs, HL7, CSV, approximately 12 types you have. So just what you need to do, you need to give the sample data to the MuleSoft, what the data it may become from the source system or target system. What data it may come from the source system, example data just provided, and what kind of data it is expecting by the target system. Just provide the example data. That's it. It will generate the metadata by itself. Based on the metadata, you can drag and drop. It will generate the code in the data view language. Once the code is generated and you are done. But maybe you need to add some business logic. For example, you may need to add Mr. or Mrs. or maybe you need to add a dollar symbol, or you may need to convert in the dollars into Indian rupees, okay, or you may need to split the name into first name and last name, okay, or you may need to add some other complex logic in your data view language. Okay, so if you see over here, there is a cloud over here in the top, right? Each and every way, the PayPal, you are going to take the data and you're going to send to the SAP system. Okay, and you are going to take the data from the Google AdSense and take the data and present to the UI like that. I hope you understand these 2 points. So far what we have discussed is what is a MuleSoft, who are all the competitors, why we want to go with the MuleSoft, how much time it is going to take by using the standalone programming languages, and what kind of data it is going to use or exchange within the MuleSoft. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, so almost all we are there. Go ahead.
So are we going to use this, right, this integration tool in the banking domain, or like, just only? So
No.
see, why? Because banking, right? Maybe we have the very good security, then only we will go for, this type of integration tools, right? So in the market currently, all the right, banking and right, and the healthcare and the telecom, all the domains, are we using this MuleSoft, or maybe this is only for specifically support only for the few domains?
No. We are already using this MuleSoft from the long back onwards. Even I have the banking domain experience, okay, telecom experience, and healthcare domain experience as well.
Okay. So in the security perspective, is good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's backed by the Salesforce, right? Backed by the Salesforce. That's why you have seen a lot of traction in the market. The boom has started from the last 6 to 7 years onwards, but drastically which is changed from the past 2 to 3 years onwards. The acquisition happened last 2 years before, 2 to 3 years before. Until the time it's a free of, you say it's a community and free of cost. After the Salesforce acquisition, it is become as a enterprise edition as well. It is supporting enterprise edition as well.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyone else?
So currently, how company are using, like they are using only for cloud environment, or they are using means both in on-premises environment as well?
Yes,
Means
on premises and
after
on cloud.
Salesforce acquisition.
Before the Salesforce acquisition, there is no cloud.
Okay.
Okay. Now they become as a cloud as well. They have their own containers. You can deploy your application. It can exponentially, either it will increase the memory based on, you can configure it. Everything you can do that. You can add more cores, more memory. Based you can pre-configure it automatically. It will increase the memory whenever it has a load. Okay. Lot of other supports it has. Even if you do not want to go with the MuleSoft based cloud environment, you can go with your own cloud. You can go with Amazon, you can go with AWS. That's up to you. It is also private cloud. That is up to you, right?
Okay.
Even
Sure.
it can support standalone as well. On premises, you can deploy.
So now from on-premises, like in BW, we have Classic. Currently, we are migrating into container. The same thing also, MuleSoft technology holder, they are doing
No,
migration. No.
it has its own. I'm saying it has by default support. Either you can deploy same files you need to deploy either cloud or on premises. Only the change is the API manager. API manager also it has support nowadays. So authentication, I would say integration, then you have to implement your own policies, your project. That is the only change. Apart from that, everything is same. The same files you are going to move into the cloud or deploy in your private cloud in your on-premises also.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, one question. Like you are saying, the same file we can move on-premises environment as well as cloud, right? That is what you are
Right,
saying.
right.
In BW, we have Business Studio. Like in BW, we have Classic Designer. If you want to move cloud, then you have to use Studio container. So you are saying in MuleSoft, you're not going to use different designer or different
No,
studio. You will going to
not,
use one studio
yes.
that is
Only
applicable for
business studio,
on-premises as well as cloud.
yes,
Okay.
same one.
Okay.
This is the studio. Either you will just right click on your project and migrate to your cloud. Just it is automatically it is integrated over there. Okay, just one click away. One click away. Okay, or if you're using the automation tools like Hudson or maybe like that tools, okay, then the code will be pushed into the source versioning tools. From there, the tool will download the code, it will take a build and it will deploy it to the cloud or on premises or private cloud. That is up to you. If you want to go with the standalone process, I'm saying specific process instead of manual efforts. If you don't want to go manually deploy in the separate systems, then you can go with the standalone automation process.
Okay, so that means there is another advantage, means we can
Yes,
use
right.
only one platform to generate on-premises
Yeah,
best
everything is
file
only
and
one
cloud
file.
as well.
Just it will copy into different environments.
Okay.
Instead of manually copying from one location to another location, stages, or for example, UAT, dev, prod, like that. Instead of doing manually, you can do automated way. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay.
So we are seeing that all connectors are available with this product. So the licensing cost relatively with TIBCO is higher for MuleSoft then?
Yes, nowadays, yes. That's why TIBCO users moving out from the TIBCO to this one. Workday, it's not Workday. The other tool is, I forgot the name. Workday, not Workday. Especially MuleSoft is very much popular in the ASEAN countries and US market, and European countries. The other tool is there. I forgot the name. It's my head, but I'm not able to remember. Yeah. So 70%, I think 60% of the market is already captured by this MuleSoft. 60 to 70%. Okay. Anyone else? Any other things?
One teammate, he asked a good question like the security point of view.
Right.
People are saying security is very good in TIBCO, so most
Right.
of the banking project they prefer to go with TIBCO. So can you just explain a little bit on MuleSoft? Like,
for example, in the security means what you mean? It's a vulnerability assessment testing, right?
Like we can adding policy, or we can do as message level security. You are using mutual authentication.
Right.
Okay.
It has OAuth, you have basic authentication, you have like NTLM authentication, you have. If you want the project level authenticate for project level security, if you're talking with the project level security, vulnerability assessment testing, yes, you have. You can do your testing. Okay, it will give you if it gives the bugs, and you can fix it. Okay, it's application enter tool level. Tool level is secured. If it is a project deployment, say I can say entire project. Okay, instead of end-to-end user, the project level also it has a bugs. I'm say you are implement you are the developer, right? You are working for a bank. Okay, you know the loopholes. For example, you expose it as a service. So once you know, once I moved out from the organization, I know that this bug, so that I can exploit it, so that I can get some money from the bank, right? It is also feasible, right? So to avoid that, you can run your application in the vulnerability assessment testing. It will find out all the loopholes, and the developer has to fix it. Before he is going to fix, he has to give the proper reason why he has to exploit it, that bug. Okay. There are 3 levels of securities. I don't know, this TIBCO has support 3 levels of securities. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Any project has to go with the penetration testing, vulnerability assessment testing. Okay, these are the layers you have to go with, basically. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about testing actually. Means we have those options to enable those security means.
Yeah, that is
all
the end-to-end
type of security.
End-to-end security, yes, it has by default. Every application has, like OAuth, basic auth, NTLM, and all those, right? So in the application level also, if you expose a bug, what will you do? Right? You are authenticated. For example, you log into a HDFC bank, right? It is authenticated because you have the username and password, right? But still, it's a vulnerable. So for example, you are instead of transferring minus 10,000, if you put minus 10,000, what will happen? Minus into minus, it will become as a plus, right? Right. So where will you get these kind of bugs? It is also security, to fall under security only, right? There are 3 layers. All 3 layers will support by the MuleSoft. Now it's clear?
Yeah, we'll get to know slowly what are all the security.
Yes.
Okay.
So for example, let me give one more security. Okay. So for example, do you know the phishing attack or bootstrap attack in the security?
Yeah,
Bootstrap
means,
attack.
yeah,
Like for
phishing we know.
example, let me give an example.
Mhm.
There is a service, it can support 100 requests per second. Okay. But if you give 10,000 requests at a time, what will happen? System will be down or it will be compromised, right? If that is the time, if you hit your bug, if you hack it, then your system won't do anything. It will hack, it will compromise, and it will give whatever the data it wants, right? So to avoid that, even in the MuleSoft, you have the policies. Okay, so you can apply the rate limit, or you can apply the whitelisting of the IP address or blocklisting of the IP address. You can secure your application.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, so there is another point just you brought out.
Right.
Now we are doing our proxy, that is other technology, like
Right.
you are say whitelisting or
Right.
any authentication. So you are using other technology. Okay. So top of that, we are doing proxy, and TIBCO, you are not maintaining any proxy. So do you? I'm telling you that is APG. So APG
APG
you are.
also it has. MuleSoft also it has. Okay, MuleSoft also API manager is there. Okay. It can do that. Either you can use a APG based proxy things to secure your request, or you can go with the MuleSoft based. If you're deploying in your on-premises, then either the is your choice. Either you can go with the APG or your own way, or if you go with the MuleSoft, then you can use the API manager.
Okay, so like you need to install a separate tool, or itself that studio has all the proxy.
It's not a separate tool. So it's a inbuilt feature it has. It's the same product under the MuleSoft.
Oh, means there is another Proctor means you need to install, right? Like
no, you don't need to install it. It's a API manager like APG. APG is a cloud-based one, right?
Okay.
So in the same MuleSoft, if you opt for the cloud, then it will be available for you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay. So now already we have discussed. It has numerous amount of connectors. We have to integrate any system, right? Like a connector, right? And it's a lightweight. Why it is a lightweight? It is developed. Entire MuleSoft is developed on top of Java, so it can run any sort of environment, and it can pretty much control entire memory. Okay. And also you have the custom components. For example, you are not satisfied the connector which is available in the MuleSoft public library, and you want to build your own custom component. Yes, you can do that. For example, some companies, what they will do, they will take the connector, but they will say to the client, okay, we are building our own custom connector to add more features. For example, SAP connector. Okay, SAP doesn't have the EDA format. I'm saying the connector doesn't have EDA format. Okay, so what these people will do, they will take the entire connector. The team, can you please be on mute on the meeting? Okay, so you can build your own custom features and you can sell it off. Okay, that feature also you have. Okay, and MuleSoft has a graphical user interface. Okay, you can just drag and drop your connector, or you can just drag and drop your code, okay, or things, and it will build entire project for you. Okay, and other component, other tools doesn't have, like Apache Camel or Spring integration, don't have this kind of features. TIBCO it has, but remaining things doesn't have. Okay, so the license wise already we discussed. it's a pretty much low cost compared to their competitors. Okay, and the community size also, it is very huge compared to the other competitors, so that you can fix the problems just by googling it. Okay, so these are the things which I want to discuss as part of demo, and we have I will like to go few more things, but interest of time I'm not going to do that. And we have few more like just API manager, runtime, and design center, exchange. These are all the things which we are going to discuss going forward, like. Okay, so that's all about this thing. And now what I'm going to show you is the MuleSoft Studio. Okay, so these are the projects. Okay, so what we are going to cover, oh sorry, so as part of the training, what we are going to do, that is we are going to discuss two projects. Okay, one is the eBay to City Shop integration, and one more is I have few more projects. The projects which I had worked as a freelancer, I'm going to hand over those projects to you so that you can explore by yourself how the projects are going to be look like. Okay, so these are the projects which we are going to share with you, and documentation and other things as well. And there is a one more project, AX400 to Magento integration. This project also I'm going to share with all of you so that you can see and how it is going to be look like. Okay, but these projects are implemented on 3.9, I think so. Okay, and you can see I'm going to share one more project which it has in the GitHub in the cloud. I will share you those projects as well. Okay, now let me show you. Don't share your email ID, bro. Okay, so let me give you some examples. Okay, how the project is going to look like. Okay, so this is a scheduler. Scheduler means it will wake up at particular interval of time, and it will initiate the job, and it will pull out the data from the eBay, and it will transform, and it will write it a CSV file. Normally, if you want to implement in the standalone programming languages, okay, it will take 5 to 10 days of time to complete this entire job. But in the MuleSoft, within the just 2 to 3 hours, you can complete entire this requirement. Okay, and as I told you, right, it has number of connectors, right? This is a Salesforce connector. Okay, okay, and modules. So under the add modules, you have all these readily available. You don't need to install, or you don't need to download or anything. Okay, if you want any specific, for example, does it have SAP? It doesn't have any SAP connector over here. You need to download the SAP. Okay, what you have to do, you have to go with the click on the search exchange. Come on, I think I need an account. Let me see. Okay, now it is showing. It is going to show. Let's see. Now you can see all the available connectors for you, right? SAP Concur, Salesforce connector, and SAP HANA, and SAP Hybris, and all, right? I hope you're clear with that now, right? Anyone else? Any other questions?
No, you are looking. Yeah, it's good. Please go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Just you can add it, okay, to your project, and it will add all your dependencies to your project. It's downloading now. Once it is downloaded, it will be available on your module section. Okay, and if you want to implement your services, you can use the API manager and other things, API kit and API kit for so means there are two types of services: RESTful services, SOAP based services, which you can implement by yourself. Okay, it's going to take a lot of time. Let me cancel it. I don't know.
So you are taking, this is downloading from internet?
Yes, from internet. Yes, you are right.
Means you have to set up user ID and password of that MuleSoft account.
Yes,
in your
at the
studio.
top it is asking for the login search for the content specific to your organization, right? There is organization specific accounts also there, and public accounts also there. So organization specific account, if you have, you can download organization specific connectors. I mean to say, for example, you implemented your customized connector for your organization, SAP customized connector, right? That connector, it is going to be available for you, and you can download and you can configure it for your requirement, for your project.
And what about, because you are public, right? You are not the authorized. It's
No,
not
no.
provided by any.
There has a number of connectors available in the public library as well.
Okay.
Okay, so now it is downloaded SAP Concur. Okay, it has the, just it's a module. It has sub functionalities. Okay, create a report, create a request, create a vendors, like that. So if you want to do that, what you will do, just click on this and just drag and drop. Okay, go here. So it will expect what kind of data it is required to push the data into SAP Concur. Okay, so please bear with me, team, because this is my another system. Unfortunately, I logged in over here. Okay, so if you see in the input and output over here, okay, if you have the proper credentials, it will show you proper details. Otherwise, let's see now, it doesn't have any connection now. It is resolving the metadata, means it is resolving the metadata means it is fetching the information what it is expecting from you. Okay, so the specific information, if you pass, then it will send the data to the SAP. Okay, so in this transform message, for example, it will just by drag and dropping, the code will be created as it like this. So unfortunately, this is a old project. That's why I'm not able to show you properly. Okay, team. Any other questions from anyone?
Yeah, so I have one
Yeah,
final
can you,
one, and so I have one final one. See, let's say that right in the Mule we have a Hadoop, we have a right Mule admin as well as a Mule developer, right? I hope you are going to teach about the Mule development, right? Correct? Right?
Right. Right.
Right. So that that so actually, suppose let's say if I grab the job on on the Mule development, right? Let's say that if there is any installation part, the right, the separate Mule admin will take care, or like from the administration, from the installation part also, as a developer I should take care.
So installation part, each and everything, developer has to take the ownership.
Oh,
Administrator, he will enable the policies.
okay.
Disable, increasing the core of the, I'm say, RAM or those things will be taken care by the admin.
Okay. Okay, let's say the Mule maybe it is going to install in the on-premise and the cloud, right? Okay, so now you are going to teach on only on the on-premise, or like you are going to show in the cloud also?
Both, because this is a developer job. Developer
Yeah.
has to aware where it is going to deploy. Otherwise, how can you ask or how can you defend from your side with the admin? So, for example,
Okay.
admin is going to deploy in the cloud. Then you are going to say that, okay, if it is going to deploy in the cloud, okay, you need to enable these policies and all. You need to create these services, okay, and I need the public IP, or I need the proxy IP details. These are the details I want. You have to check with them.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So actually, my final question is that, yeah, see, maybe let's see, I don't have any technical knowledge. I don't have anything. I see Mondo, but I have the IT knowledge. I have it 0%. Then in this case, actually, what are the things if I learn it as a prerequisite, so that I can easily learn the MuleSoft?
So to learn the MuleSoft, you should have basic knowledge on the any one of the programming language, or you should have knowledge on the entire product. I mean, product means systems. Okay, so the code, the mostly you should know basic knowledge on the programming side. What is the integer? What is a string? What is a loop? Okay, these basic things you should aware.
So we have the more in already a number of programming languages, out of which maybe if I know the core Java, it would be great. It would be great.
If you have the core Java knowledge, it is perfect, no doubt.
Okay, so only for the core Java, right? So
Right.
any
If you
DB
know the
knowledge, any DB
also
knowledge.
well and good. If you know the .NET, also well and good, but there is no relation with the Python or Java or .NET. But the
Okay.
fundamentals are important.
Okay. Knowledge
For
about
example,
the.
let me show you.
Oh.
Let me show you. You don't know anything about the programming language. Okay, it's
Okay.
empty. Okay, so you know, in the real time, you're going to say that item ID is going to map with particular element. Okay, so what will you do? Just drag and drop. I think what is okay. Just give me a minute. Let me delete this part and.
Sir, I really don't have any, like you said, fundamental knowledge as well. So I'm from the commerce background. So how it is like convenient for me to go with this?
Right, at least you have to drag and drop, but it's if you have 13 years or 14 years of experience time, then you're not going to implement the code, but you should understand the concept, right? By understanding the concept, then you know, okay, the estimation, how the developer is giving the estimation, why he is taking a lot of time, these things is enough, right? You can do that. Okay, for example, yeah, I told you, right, this code automatically is going to generate. Okay, so you need to drag and drop. That's it. If you drag and drop, the code will generate for you. Okay, like this. Just drag and drop. Entire code is generating, right? Like that. Okay. So what is the type of file? Is a type of file is CSV or something like that? Then automatically it will create. Okay, so you can see now, right? It is expecting CSV because the next component is CSV. That's why it is going to transform the data into a CSV format. Okay. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
So this is the data which I provided. Okay. Okay, this is a sample data which I given. That's why it is showing over here. Now I will, if I drag and drop the code in. Okay. Okay. Anything else from anyone?
Yeah, sorry, this is Dilip. Post this call, can you share the course detail? What are the topics you're gonna cover and how many days it will take?
Come again, sorry, Dilip. Can you repeat again?
Post this call, can you share the course details? What are the topics you're gonna cover and how many days you're gonna take complete this?
So approximately it is going to take 45 days, and we are going to cover each and every concept which is shown in the Visual Path course curriculum. But I will show you over here also, and I will tell you how much time I'm going to take each and every concept level.
That means it will be completed by December 15.
Absolutely right. Maybe 2 to 3 days. Maybe it will differ. So all these concepts which we are going to discuss. Okay. Just give me a minute. Let me.
So, Sai, that means you definitely you will going to cover on premises deployment, cloud deployment. Then
Yes.
we'll going to
Process. It will deploy in the on-premises and on cloud as well. The CI/CD document you can see, right? That one.
okay. And because we are new to MuleSoft, so we want to means, as you are saying, you will be go for every integration technology like HTTP, JMS, even
Right.
even these MuleSoft is completely new. Even if we have knowledge on other integration also, but how you going to define in the studio, like we need to know about file, how you read the file for CSV or .txt, then HTTP, then JMS.
Right.
So we're going to cover all those activity, exception handling, logging, so
Right.
that, yeah, these are the, so those module you are talking, right? Like
Right.
HTTP, JMS, then I
Right.
believe you'll go to XML and a lot of things, database. Yep. So
Everything we
one
are
day
going to
will be
discuss,
okay.
but not in detail each and everything. For example, FTP has FTP file, SFTP has same in concepts like
Correct.
read, write, move, each and everything. So I'm going to take the FTP or SFTP, okay, and I will explain you one or two operations. Then remaining things you can, I will explain all of them, but I will give you an example on at least
Yeah.
one or two.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just to understand how you are defining actually.
In the
In
Salesforce
MuleSoft.
also, we are going to discuss
Yep.
5 to 10 operations, but the program will do upset. Upset is the one of the important concept. I'm going to discuss that one. Okay, upset and select those things, query. Those things we will implement the program. Okay, and remaining thing published topic I will explain, and remaining things I will give you the documentation. Okay, you can do things. Okay, remaining things, and NetSuite we are not, I'm not going to discuss because I don't have the access for the NetSuite, and Workday as well, and ServiceNow, and remaining all of them we are going to discuss in the module section, whatever it was defined over here. JMS we are going to discuss, database we are going to discuss, email, database, APIs, each and everything we are going to discuss. Okay, and in the core concept level, we are going to discuss each and everything, exception handling here, and batch processing and logging, and scopes, transformations, and flow controls. Each and everything we are going to discuss as part of the session. Okay.
Loop.
Will
Yeah.
you cover any basic admin part as well?
Yes, that's what I told you, right? The CI/CD process we are going to discuss, and IMC deployment we are going to discuss, and policies I'm going to discuss, because you can't expect from the administrator all these things. If the administrator is an experienced person, then he can do that. If he is not an experienced, for example, you are working for a multinational company, okay, then you don't need to bother about all these administrative activities like deployment and policies and all. But if you are working for a small scale company or medium scale company, if the project is very new to that organization, you need to explain your you need to explain to your admin. If you are an architect, obviously you have to do all these things. If you are a developer, you are not expected to define all these things in the middle level company. If it's a smaller scale company like 100 people or 10 people company, then obviously yes, you should know all these things.
Who knows means we should know about all, right? You know that interview will ask all the question. You know that we're not going to use all the
Right.
admin stuff, so all the development stuff also. You're going to use some basic
Right.
some technology like JMS, HTTP, and this is common, right? Might be
Right.
you will go. It's not all the client is using Salesforce also, right? So
Right.
yeah, we should know, like, yeah, even you will not do the load balancing and all in the platform side. That is specific to platform. But people are asking the question, how are you going to define load balancing? How will do that filter? So we should know about that to click the interview, right?
At least you should know what is the load balancing. Maybe you can configure it or you may not configure it, but doesn't matter. Okay. What is the load
Correct.
balancing? Right? So that's why you should aware all these concepts. Yeah, I'm going to explain all those things.
Yeah. Means in admin level, how you're going to configure. Means we don't, means if you explain in core level for our
It's not about
extra
the
knowledge that
index level. So what I will do, I will show you. Okay, this is my development. So this is the place I'm going to get the requirement like Jira. The task will be assigned to me. Okay, now it is assigned to me. Now I will design the requirement. Okay, first I will understand the existing requirement or new requirement or existing implementation or new implementation. We are going to discuss. Okay, so based on that, okay, I modified the code. Okay, I'm going to push the code into the GitHub or Bitbucket or whatever it is. Okay, this is the second stage. Once it is done, okay, you will email to the administrator team. Okay, then he will take a build. He will let you know it's a build failure or successful. Okay, he will share you the log file. Based on that, okay, based on the error message, you need to identify, you need to remodify your code, then you can deploy it again. You will re-request to deploy. So these are concepts we are going to discuss, how the development will go end to end from the day one. For example, you joined an organization, what is the next first step you will do, what is the second step you will do, whom you will contact. Okay, so what is the next step, where you will deploy your application, how will you communicate, who are the BAs. These are the things we are going to discuss. The day one you're starting the program, to at least 1 to 2 years of experience, the people, or 4 years of experience people, what they will do, how they were going to fix the problem, how they are going to complete the requirement. All those things we are going to discuss. By the time you're going to complete this training, you can complete 4 years of experience, but until unless you should practice. I'm going to give all the concepts until the 4 years of experience guy, what he is going to do. Okay.
yeah.
Hi, good morning. This is Prakash. I have one question.
Okay, you go ahead.
Yeah. So left hand side, the panel, I can see there's one. My name is Upwork. The last point. So what is that? Upwork?
Upwork is a freelancer site where you can grab
Yeah.
the project. Okay,
Uh-huh.
let me show you.
Right. Yeah, that I'm aware. Yeah.
It's a freelancer
So it's
site.
provided. Okay, so it's provide integration with Upwork or how it is?
No, it's a projects. You can grab the projects. And say, for example, you want to start a company. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you need a credibility, right? So how the customer or client will behave, right? Sorry, just a minute. I think my account is. Let me. Not sure. Please bear with me. Okay, I logged off my account. I think seems to be Google has some issue, or maybe our network has some issue.
Okay, that is okay. So you can explain verbally only.
Yeah, maybe once we start the sessions, I will show you. Just give me a minute. It's taking time. I think this time it will log in. Okay, perfect. Sorry team, actually this is my old system, that's why it is causing the problem. Sessions I will start from my new system.
So classes will start from Monday.
Yes, mostly on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe team will. So these are the projects which I had worked on long back. Okay. So I started my career as a MuleSoft developer 2016 onwards as a freelancer. Okay. There I worked for a very small project. Then I grabbed the SAP payroll project. Then one of the biggest project which I have done for the Mule card. Okay. So I earned approximately per hour wise $18. 300 hours I earned $6,000. I grabbed from the client. Okay. So just small things. Some of them Python, some of them are other projects or like that. Okay. This is one of the recent project which I was delivered to one of my client. Okay. I think 2 projects for this client I am delivered. One is this one, $26 per hour. Okay. So if you want to grab the projects, so you can search for the projects which is related to the MuleSoft. Even recently also there are a lot of projects will be posted over here. Let me show you. Because why you are getting the projects in the MuleSoft for within the freelancer sites is small companies, they were using the MuleSoft. Why? Because they want to deliver the project as soon as possible. Okay, so that they can use these tools. Okay, and they can deliver the project and they can grab the huge amount. Okay, so you can see now, just 4 days before, they were expecting a senior MuleSoft developer. Okay, so it's they bid for the $27 to $30 or $50. They're ready to pay. Okay, you have to bid for that. The biddings are 15 biddings, but the interview is not started. Okay, so if you grab this project per hour, $20 is the minimum if you take. Okay, 30 hours per week. Okay, so 6 months project. Approximately per month you may earn 6 lakhs, right? So you can ask me a question, why you are not working as a freelancer? Okay, so I told you I'm working for a top-notch company in the world, so they won't entertain until unless I need to get the approval from the company. Okay, so I should not work for the domain specific projects, and sometimes I'm also working without notifying them. Okay, and I'm working for another project as well for my personal projects. That's why I'm not investing time on the freelancer sites. Okay, so I'm working for a Python project for myself, similar to the stock market, and that's why I'm not interested over here. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Sorry to interrupt. I have understood what is Upwork. So for a marketplace for grasping the project. So once we grasp the project, how we integrate the environment which you have just shown is like a paid environment, or we can we can use the open source IDs also for running the software.
You're going to use enterprise edition only, but the problem is you should not. The client is responsible to deploy their application into the thing. The enterprise edition, they will purchase the license, one license. So for the development, you can use the free one. Okay, doesn't matter. It won't give you any problems. Okay, for the deployment and usage, okay, only the problem. If the client didn't take the enterprise edition and if he's still using the free one only, then he may face some problems.
Okay. So better to go with enterprise edition. So that is like okay, got it.
As a developer, you don't care it's enterprise or community or whatever it is. Their requirement you're fulfilling and you're handing over the project, and that is their headache. They are going to use it or they are not going to use it. Doesn't care.
But still, what is recommended a corporate culture? Enterprise
in the
only?
corporate, in the organization, they obviously they will take the license. This is about the freelancer sites. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, thanks.
You can see, right, they're expecting the Mule 4 latest version. They want to integrate with the Salesforce and other kind of integrations like MQ. Okay. They need two endpoints. One is Salesforce, one is MQ, either ActiveMQ or RabbitMQ or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions? Any other clarifications? Any- That's all. Can we wind up the session, team? Huh?
Yes, Srikanth, if you want to talk to you on one-on-one, like, so how is it possible? Like, we will talk to the Visualsoft, like, and like.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
So I can get your number from the Visualsoft admin.
You need the Visualsoft admin number. Otherwise,
No. I want to talk to you on one-on-one, like in.
just check with the Visualsoft team. Okay.
Okay.
They will
Okay.
contact me and they will place
Okay.
a call with us.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, team. So I'm going to wind up the session for now. We'll meet you on maybe next session. Okay. Thank you, team. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you.